What's up everyone, welcome back to my series on playing Position 1 reliably. This video will be on teamfights, target prioritization, power spikes, and general positioning. This video is going to be a bit different to my last two, focusing more on a specific game and analyzing it in more depth. The game we're going to be looking at is QO's legendary Phantom Assassin, playing against a snowballing maybe on Shadow Fiend and a literally snowballing FY on Tusk. So the first part of the game we're going to look at is around 10 minutes. At this time, after collecting the bounty runes, QO sees his team getting chased into the high ground near his bottom tier 1 tower, and makes the decision to TP down and try and turn the fight. Unfortunately, DotA realizes they committed all their spells and mana and effectively retreat. Radiant still manages to pick off the Grimstroke and Underlord as they kind of stupidly retreat downwards instead of following maybe an FY, forgetting the obvious rotations that their previous play would cause. This timing of QO's TP to group up with his team is extra effective because it's the 10-minute mark and it's a siege creep wave, so securing the bottom tower for their team. The next fight I want to look at is around 30 minutes when QO is in a very similar situation. He's split pushing the bottom lane, he can see his team is engaging in a fight top, but this time he makes the decision to not TP to the fight. And I want to say that this is probably because he knows that the pressure he is putting on the map, for like pushing that bottom lane, is going to force them away from top, making it easier for his team to secure the free kills. Shadow Fiend ends up TPing bot and kills QO. He still almost manages to TP out, showing how close to being very good this play was. As soon as the DotA team see that Shadow Fiend is bot, they re-engage top, getting the big Terrorblade kill and a free kill on the Tusk, making QO's death reasonable. The fact that he didn't TP to this fight, but did it 10 minutes shows the importance of the runes and siege creeps. Or it could just be that he wanted to farm his Battle Fury, and since Shadow Fiend TP'd from out of vision, he got surprised and picked off. In this next fight that I'm going to show you, we get to see some really thought out target prioritization. His Treant scouts the Radiant moving up to the high ground, and the whole of the DotA team immediately start to prepare to fight. So Storm and Puck react quickly, saving the Wind Ranger, and as soon as QO sees the Puck TPing in with a silence, he is confident to jump the scariest hero on the Radiant team, the Shadow Fiend, eliminating him from the fight before he can do anything. After this kill, it's just taking whatever they can get, and although I feel they probably could have focused Underlord to cancel his ult and gotten both kills, they managed to take down FY God safely since the Shadow Fiend was dead. The next clip shows QO's realization that he cannot do much. So his whole team's setting up to kind of defend the bottom tower, he's sitting back throwing daggers. And he realizes that this is a waste of my time, I don't want to take a fight right now, and he can tell that he'd much rather wait for the power spike of his BKB, and he also sees the middle lane being pushed out. So instead of trying to engage or force a fight bottom, he walks towards mid, farms the wave, and continues to farm the jungle until he gets his BKB. This decision really pays off when we see the Pride of Korea QO finding the fight that he was waiting for, right after he finishes his Black King bar. As soon as he gets his Black King bar, his playstyle changes, playing far more aggressive and confident. Understanding that since Terrorblade is all DotA's physical damage, taking him down quickly with the help of Storm's Orchid. I want to say that Terrorblade using his Manta earlier to kill the Roshan was extremely costly for Radiant, because if he had the Dispel for the Silence and ult, that could have been pretty bad. Anyway, after the Terrorblade dies, he immediately buys back along with the Grimstroke, understanding the importance of the Roshan. But his Tusk is dead, and Shadowfiend is healing in base. So Kyo quickly finishes off the Roshan and runs away with the Aegis, knowing that Terrorblade's meta is on cooldown.
Slow down.
So the Terrorblade meta being on cooldown is another massive thing. So they've got Aegis, they know Terrorblade's meta's on cooldown, and suddenly, even though they've got a very small gold lead, they're in a very, very good position this game. They then use this Aegis to push their advantage even further, along with the lack of the Metamorphoses. Kyo, the madman he is, jumps the first person he sees, running alone into the Radiant's high ground, popping BKB, and still looking for kills. You can see that this is not a bad decision though, because he is so strong and he wants his team to take fight. He wants to push this advantage. He eventually backs off, which baits the Shadowfiend in. Since his BKB is worn off, the Shadowfiend thinks that he can get the kill. Maybe overextending a bit, if you see what I did there. And eventually the rest of Radiant, who are forced to Underlord ulti out, which lets them to get the Grimstroke kill as well. So things just get better and better for the Dire, and at this point the game is basically over. They push this 1k gold lead into a Shadowfiend dieback, and eventually they just win the game. This game is a great example of how using your power spikes and avoiding fights when necessary, along with good target prioritization, can make an apparently even game seem incredibly one-sided. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Mugeh DotA. Please subscribe to motivate me to keep putting out content like this. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and as always, leave any feedback or video ideas in the comments. Thanks for watching, or something. Boy, 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 boy. Boy, 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 boy.